all right. Good morning, party people. This your man Griff, rolling out of Jacksonville in a moment. My Orlando stuff got canceled, so I didn't go down there. So I just stayed in Jacksonville and got some rest. I ain't gonna lie to you, got some rest, some much needed rest. Man, I slept for a long time too. I still probably sound a little groggy and everything. It's about 7 something in the morning, 7:20, and all that. And like I said, I'm about to roll out, so I know I got at least a good. This time I know I got about 8 hours sleep. Um, my body woke up after a couple of hours and was like, "All right, let's roll." I was like, nah, it's time to go back to sleep. And I kicked the AC on a little bit more, threw my skull cap on because that cold air be making you. That's probably why I sound like this, because I had the AC on. Put my skull cap on while I slept, and that cold air knocked me back out for a couple of more hours. So just finished eating some breakfast, my spirulina, chlorella, that's some good stuff. So my energy level will be pumped up in about 30 minutes. And so I'll be on the road shortly. But I just wanted to have a conversation with y'all real quick and just encourage y'all to just keep pushing. Don't give up. Now is the time for you to really get focused on you and your business and to start monitoring and measuring and the information that's coming to you. Start making people prove that their information is worth your time and money. That's really what it boils down to. And even making sure what I do. And I put myself at the top of that. And I feel I'm the lowest out of all of these gurus out here when it comes to this notary business, all of these so-called experts and mentors. The one thing that I learned from people like Kiyosaki and Tony Robbins and Zig Ziglar and Brian Tracy and John Maxwell is that as a business owner, and even taking a step back as an adult, it's up to you to make sure the information that's coming to you is right and exact. And that the source that it's coming from is not using your pain to financially gain for themselves. Because everybody has a certain level of pain in their life. And many of us who joined this notary business, there was a level of pain that we were experiencing, and somebody saw that pain and started offering things to us to tell us that here's a way you can relieve that pain. Here's a method or a mechanism that can help you remove that pain out of your life. Whatever that pain may have been, financial, mostly financial, but self-doubt, whatever it is. But the information that they gave you really hasn't relieved the pain. It's caused more pain than what you had before. You already were struggling with money, and you're struggling even more because you spent money that you really didn't have, and none of what they told you is happening. Then when you reach out to them, they're making excuses not to communicate with you, or if they say you can, they'll communicate with you, they're waiting for you to send something to them on Cash App. So you have to be careful. And I know at this point in time in which you're hearing this, and I ain't gonna lie, it really hurts my heart when I'm getting ready to say, at this point in time, many of you, it's a little too late. You've already spent. You've already invested. You've already tried to reach out to them. And they've already said no. So where do you go from there? Take what you can out of what you've learned from them that is actually good and applicable in your state when it comes to notary, and work that. Work that to the best of your ability. And if you realize that none of what they've given you is even usable, then it's now time to find the information that is, and then work that and grow. That's like taking a plant and you put a plant, there's a plant you might have, and somebody say, here's a plant, and you put the plant in a particular type of soil, and it just doesn't grow. What do? You change the soil. Because it's the plant that you want to grow, not necessarily the soil. You don't go, you could go get another plant, and some people say, well, I'll just get rid of this plant and I just get me a different type of plant that would work with that soil. But sometimes that plant that you have, i.e. the notary business, the soil that somebody has put it in for you, the soil that they gave you to put your notary business in ain't good. So now it's time for you to find the right soil. Go out there and find the right soil for your notary business. And I guarantee you it'll grow. Understand this, this is a great business. But the soil has to be right. Meaning the information, the support, all of that. And I keep saying it over and over again, and people can take this however they want, but I'm telling you, you got to separate yourself from them folk that are doing bad things. You got to make yourself look good. You got to make yourself look better than them in word first. And that's why I keep going back to your profile. Profile got to be straight. Profile got to be on point. Communicating to them that I am not like these people out here who have been giving you problems. I'm way much better than that. And in the description below is going to be an example of a notarial statement that I believe you can put in. A statement that you can put in your notarial profile. You got to hold yourself accountable. Put yourself in a position of accountability that I'm going to do what I need to do. And that's why with the stuff that I'm doing, and even with stuff some of the other people doing out here teaching, you got to understand the basics of what you're supposed to do as a notary. People are learning real quick and finding out that all this stuff that they've been trained to do, or some of the stuff they've been trained to do, isn't applicable. And you got to get down to the core of it. And once you understand that and you master that, you can move forward into greater things. Too many people are out here hopping into this notary business. They get in, have a touch of success. I'm talking about just a touch. And then they were like, okay, I'm an expert. And the problem I have with that is that their lack of experience, their lack of knowledge, is not leading anybody into any promised land. It's not helping anybody to get anywhere. Their advice isn't going anywhere. Their advice is not helping anybody. Unfortunately, to this day, I have not really heard anybody come back and say that, yeah, listening to this person who's been out here for 3 months, and now that they're some kind of notary guru trainer, has increased my business tenfold or even a half a fold. I haven't heard anybody say, hey, that advice that Facebook told me, don't take orders less than $100. I stopped doing that, and I just sat there and waited for the orders of $100 or more. I'm rolling in the dough. It was the greatest piece of advice ever. I see no receipts on any of that. None. Y'all seen in the comment section, people saying the basic information that I'm sharing, not even complex. And it's not about me, it's just the fact they're saying, okay, the stuff that I'm sharing is helpful. Young man out there in California, 18 years old, took the small piece of advice I said, take the order. Ain't about the money, just take the order. And that was about a month ago. He's already at about 8 signings right now. He took that one order, a reverse mortgage application that nobody else wanted, that sat there for 30 minutes while he was working out, and it was sitting there. When he looked at the time that the order came in till the time that he actually hit the button and he noticed it hit was 30 minutes. The order sat out there, and he's been going good ever since. Young lady took the class, Told me she made some adjustments in her profile, and now she's popping 5 a day because she made some small adjustments, focused on the notarial acts, focused on seeing where she needs to get the people to sign. Stop worrying about all that splaining, and she's been gone. The young lady Veronica, who I did the interview with, y'all heard, you saw the interview. That lady's popping. Took the information and went. And see, none of the information that I share out here is about, it's really centered on money from the standpoint of don't take money, don't take this order because of that money. I'm like, get out there and get the work in. And when you do that, everything else, in my opinion, will fall in line. Stop trying to be brand new. Stop trying to be all fancy with your notary business. Stop overspending for every little thing, thinking that you're going to, if I do this here particular advertisement, that's going to make me better than everybody else. Do you even have the systems in place to support the increase of business? Do you really have it together that you can even handle $8,000 a month coming in, left, right, up, down? Just money rolling in all over. Can you handle that? Is your accounting mechanism together? Are you mentally prepared for that? Is your family prepared for that? Because to make that kind of money takes time. Even if you are making $300 a pop on closings, they ain't giving you $300 for you just to go looking, just watch them sign. They're gonna want you to work. They're gonna work you for that $300, especially if you direct. They're gonna work you. And you're going to have a lot more to do, and there's going to be a lot more demand on you, and you got to be able to handle it. And you have to have the stamina to handle doing even 30 signings a month. And that's just, that's one a day, but you still got to have to go every single day. You got to have the stamina to do that. And if you don't, it's going to wear you out. It's going to wear you out. I know I get tired, and that's why I took yesterday and I just chilled. I said, you know what? I ain't going nowhere. I went and got me a little grub. And since I was down here, since my stuff got canceled in Orlando, I went and bought me some grass. I like St. Augustine palmetto grass. So in Virginia, they don't really sell it as much. They used to, but they don't anymore. So since I was here, I went and bought some. Bought me a whole bunch of grass. Car smell like fresh cut grass right now. And my fertilizer and all of that kind of stuff that's for it. So when I get back, I'm going to start planting that grass. I got a couple of areas that I got to patch up. I did it last year. Not come down here to get grass, but I ordered it on Amazon. And now this year, since I was here, I said, shoot, no need to order it on Amazon. Plus, it ended up being cheaper. Bought what I needed to buy. Go home today. Start planting grass tomorrow. I took time out to rest, and it felt good. And I just kicked back, spent time with my wife, talking to her, all of that good stuff. And it was right on time. And yeah, I did think about doing a quick pop-up class, but I said, no, I need some time for me. I need some time, and I rested. And then there were some things that I did for the business and for the class and all of that. But other than that, I just kicked back and chill. Because when you really running this business, you got to find time to rest, and it can really, 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 mentally can be tough on you sometimes to be always on guard, always ready to do a signing, So I just wanted to encourage you to get out here and do this business. It's fun, and make people show you receipts. Make people prove that their information is worth it. It's that simple. And for those of you who are here trying to mentor people, I'm going to tell you again, the law of the lid. Look it up, John Maxwell. If you've only been in this game 5 or 6 months, you can only mentor people to the level that you're at, minus 1 month. You can only mentor people up to 5 months if you've been in it for 6 months. So, is your information even good? And I'm not trying to be funny, but I mean, let's just be real. Is it even any good if you only been in this thing for a few months? And I keep hearing stories after story of people saying, yeah, this person started off so humble, so sweet, so nice. And then all of a sudden, they change. And now they brand new. And now they bragging. And now you can't get any information out of me unless you pay me. You can't even get me to look at whatever you trying to show me. You can't even get me to pick up my phone unless you pay me. But like I've learned, money reveals your true character. And for a lot of these people, their true character is showing. Who they really are is showing. And yes, basically what I'm saying is when you see who they are, believe them and stay away from them. I'm just going to be real because what you see, unless that's what you like. But when what you see out of them is not something that you like, then you need to get away from them. You need to get away from them kind of people. And it doesn't make sense. And it's a character flaw. It's too many people. Something wrong. When you see, and just dealing with a notary who started, and they seem so humble, and they were just like, I'm doing this, and just follow me. And then all of a sudden, they're promoting themselves as somebody of an expert. And then it's like they're acting as if they've arrived to the pinnacle of whatever. And I'm like, that was already in you. It was already in you. The only difference is you did it with the notary rather than your W-2. Because I guarantee that same person, if you made them a manager or supervisor in their W-2, they'll be acting like a jerk even there. So it has nothing really to do with notary. It's about the fact that they in their own mind is looking for some type of validation. They in their own mind looking for somehow to make themselves feel valuable and feel worth. And this notary business could probably do that for them, or is doing it for them. And then who they really are starts coming out. Their selfishness, their self-centeredness, their meanness, their money hungriness, all of that starts coming out. And they look at you and your pain as a way to financially benefit them. And then they figure that because you're too lazy or too unwilling to go out here and do your own research, well, I'll get a little information and I'll make them pay me for it. As one person told me, somebody was offering some training, loan doc training or whatever, and then they for a high price, and then the price dropped down to like $27 or something like that. And then they said, you know what, the information that was shared, a 14-year-old could have taught that, a 10-year-old could have taught that. And I'm like, if somebody is paying, is charging you, their initial price is $100 plus some dollars, and then all of a sudden they drop it down to like 20, 30. Should have been that in the first place. But they're going for the money. They like, okay, I'm gonna get as many people, and then they don't offer you anything. So that means to tell me at 20 some bucks, what you offer me, what you gave me at $20, you was trying to charge me 150, 200 for. So the lack of value that I got out of it at 20 or $30 is the same lack of value I would have got out of it for 150 or 200. Come on, people, let's think. Y'all have a good one. I'll see y'all on the road. Depending on, I'm going to be listening to my motivational stuff, talking to the wife, So if I get a chance, I'll do some live check in with y'all. But other than that, we got class tomorrow night. There's still some spots left on the other sessions this upcoming week. I haven't updated the website with how many seats available left, but feel free to hop on there. The information is in the description, and I will put it in there this time. I keep saying that, and then I keep forgetting, but I will. But again, I appreciate all of y'all, everything that y'all are doing for the notary business. How eager y'all are to learn, how eager you are to get better at this and to do things right. I really appreciate that. The notary business appreciates it. Those signing companies, those title officers, those escrow officers, those loan officers, they appreciate it. And I believe they're starting to see a turnaround. They're still clamping down on us because of all the mistakes that happened in the last 6 to 7 months of last year, going in and even coming into this year. The first 4 months, they're clamping down. But if we can ride the wave with them and get these loans closed properly, I think things have changed for the better for all of us. Because in all honesty, I don't think they really want to have those tight restrictions on us, because to have a tight restriction on us means there's a tight restriction on them. And if it's clogging us up, if it's slowing us up, it's also slowing them up. Because you're talking about scan backs. That means if we got to do scans back for every single order, that means they got to receive those scan backs for every single order. They got to review those scan backs for every single order. And that interferes with their flow. So that adds to them. I think y'all understand what I'm saying. Peace.